My mother is a hollow house.
The aftermath of a Great Depression.
Raised on the reasons for why she is falling apart. She hides her feelings into the cracks of the ceilings.
Masked with lilac wallpaper.
The faults in her foundation have been painted
over and over.
But you can always tell when it's peeling.
Her eyelids can't curtain her collapse.
Nobody suspects anyone's home.
But I know better. I know she doesn't keep the lights on.
Shadows rot away at her infrastructure. She is haunted.
The ghosts in her attic
prevent me from going near her.
She keeps them secret, afraid to risk foreclosing on herself.
She fences off the four walls of her heart. She buried decades of neglected to the backyard.
She has become a collection of
dust and cobwebs, uninhabitable, vacant.
She was the apparition in our family portraits.
No matter how many photos she hung on the wall.
No matter how much scripture she quoted.
No matter how many times she folded her hands in prayer.
I knew she was never seated at the table with the rest of us.
Our voices echoed in the empty hallways of her eardrums.
She is a disconnected landline, couldn't carry a conversation.
She was splintered exterior,
ripped shingles,
broken shutters.
She is a living room I can no longer live in.
She's an electrical fire that burns bridges
between us. My laughter often got lost in the crevices of her elbows.
In the cushions of her thighs.
As we aged,
she became unreachable.
I am no longer comfortable in her presence.
Because this house is just as cold as she is as a child. I tried so hard to make her smile at me, to make her happy.
I told myself she needed me.
I told myself if I tried a little harder, maybe
she would pay attention to me.
I am 6,
10,
14,
and I'm alone again.
She wouldn't listen when I told her
the depression was visiting too often. I used to peer through her bedroom door
just to make sure they both were still there.
That she hadn't faded into the darkness.
She was attached to her mattress.
The way she was to her illness.
She didn't know she was in need of repair.
She is a hostage held captive in the basement.
Stockholm sometimes disguises itself as homesickness.
She does not repair the things she destroys.
My mother is the second generation of shattered women in my family.
Conditioned to use her shards as a defense, using my pieces.
Broke me just to find value in herself.
But I'm choosing to be the last.
Because no matter how many times she used the glass against me,
she can't continue to brokenness.
I refuse to live this way.
This isn't my house to say. I do not have the deed to her depression. She can't trust the keys to me anymore. She needs to take them.
Take the restoration into her own hands and start rebuilding.
Instead of wallowing into self-pity and romanticizing on her hardships like an heirloom with a story.
Mental illness is not a choice.
It isn't something you want to inherit.
And I'll be damned if this house is passed down to the next generation.
When I have a daughter, she will be able to love without hesitation.
She will get lost in her own laughter and find herself in mine.
My daughter, who will always be able to come home to me.